Good morning, Unity Church of friends. Let me hear some noise. I want you to get that message.
The live. It says right here, active document.
Amen. You're in the right place, and this is the right time.
Click edit.
You're just where you're supposed to be.
And it'll show up the video.
Okay.
And this is definitely the right time. You're just what you're supposed to be.
Just a bunch of info. If you want to
Your
tell us
soul
good
is
morning
welcome right
to
here.
the
All right, now y'all know how we do this.
My soul is welcome here.
Let's get up to the balcony.
Your soul is welcome here.
Yes, it is.
Your soul is welcome here.
My friend Ty in the back.
Your soul is welcome here.
Yes, it is.
Your soul is welcome here.
Lady, her soul.
Her soul is welcome here. Her soul is welcome here.
Bring back to yourself.
My soul is welcome here. My soul is welcome here. My soul is welcome here.
All right, thank you. Good morning.
Good morning.
As we do every Sunday here at Unity Church of Flint, we start our service out by declaring our statement of being. So if you would all please join me as we declare this universal truth together. God is all, both invisible and visible. One presence, one mind, one power is all. This one that is all is perfect life, perfect love, and perfect substance. I am an individualized expression of God. Let's work that. Come on now, touch yourself, because you are telling the truth about who you are. I am an individualized expression of God. That means that there's no other like you, none born, none yet to be born, that can express just the way you can. Come on. I am an individualized expression of God. Let's keep going. I am ever one with this perfect life, perfect love, and perfect substance. Thank you so much. You may be seated. And I want you all to know that you are welcome here at Unity Church of Flint. So all of our virtual people who are visiting us or joining us for the first time, I have some information for you. The song at the beginning said, your soul is welcome here. And each of your souls are welcome here. Because here at Unity Church of Flint, we believe and teach that everyone is a spiritual being created in the image and likeness of God. We also believe that the Spirit of God lives in every individual. Therefore, all people are inherently good. Unity is a positive, practical, progressive approach to Christianity based on the teachings of Jesus and Fillmorian theology. This teaching ministry honors the individual's right to choose their own spiritual path. And here at Unity Church of Flint, we are committed to developing our 12 faculties of consciousness. So each month, we focus on one of these faculties and associate it with a disciple and corresponding color. Now, the spiritual idea for the month of May, the spiritual idea is power, which is self-mastery and spiritual presence. And the disciple is Philip. And he represents the power over our thoughts and feelings, our own thoughts and feelings. We do not have power over somebody else's thoughts and somebody else's feelings, even though sometimes we wish we would. But if we had power over their thoughts and feelings, guess what? They would have power over yours. The corresponding color is purple. So this month, let us wear or carry something purple to remind us that we have the power to create our own lives. The power to create your life lies within your own hands. Our solo for today is your favorite as well as mine, or one of our favorites, Ron.
I got so much to thank God for. So many wonderful blessings and so many open doors, a brand new mercy along with each new day. That's why I praise you, and for this I give you praise. For waking me up this morning and starting me on my way, for letting me see the sunshine of a brand new day, a brand new mercy along with each new day. That's why I praise you, and for this I give you praise. You're Jehovah Jireh, you've been my provider. So many times you've met my needs, so many times you've rescued me, and I want to thank you for the blessings you give to me each day. That's why I praise you, and for this I give you praise. Oh, for every mountain you brought me over, for every trial You see me through for every blessing. Hallelujah. And for this I give you praise. For every mountain you brought me over, for every trial you see me through, for every blessing I have, hallelujah, and for this I give you praise. Oh, for every mountain, Lord, you brought me over. For every trial, you see me through. For every blessing I say, hallelujah. Lord, for this I give you praise. For every mountain you brought me over, for every trial you brought me through, for every blessing, Lord, I pray, hallelujah. Lord, for this I give you praise.
For every trial, for everything that you brought me over, I give you praise. And that's what this portion of the service is all about. For you to share your experience. How have you come over? How have these principles worked for you this week? How has something that you have learned made a difference in your life? What is it that you have to be grateful for? Let's share. Who is going to start?
This is my birthday month,
Yes.
and I have been celebrating all month. I will be celebrating all month. My granddaughter's birthday was yesterday, my son's birthday is today, so we're all within like 3 days of each other. And so I didn't get to see my granddaughter yesterday. Number one, I was working at a good job, and besides that, she had 5 girls stay all night, and they all went to the salon and got their nails done, and then they partied, I don't know how late, but, so they had a really good birthday party, so I'm not gonna do anything with that part of the family until later on in the month. And then, I got lunch from a friend at a Chinese restaurant. It was wonderful. We made 3 meals out of 1 meal, and it's just been wonderful, and things just happening, unexpected things keep happening. So it works if you work.
That's right.
That's all I have to say.
Thank you.
Yes, I'm so grateful that Pastor Griffin, and he invited me to come here, and I love that voice of yours. And it's been a blessing to, well, you don't think it's a blessing, but it was a blessing to meet Pastor Griffin, although we didn't meet on the best of times, but, well, it was that time. And the thing is that I am just so grateful that I met him, then he met my daughters, who's at my family, and they became part of my family. And today, when my daughter called me this morning, she said, "Mom, you going?" Yeah, I'm going. She said, "Where are you going?" So my brother's also a minister. And I go there. And she said, "Oh, I know where you're going." I didn't have to say anything else. But you know, it's just been a blessing. And I want everyone to know. And I enjoy it, knowing Pastor Griffin and Ron. And then, you know, when they give me a call or whatever, it's just a blessing to be able to share some of the wonderful things that he knows and they know that I love them both.
Miss Ruby drives works for Drafton School Transportation with me. Well, I work there with her, and
Right.
and when we met, I'll tell the condensed version of the story of the events that took place. I got to work early one morning. Next to my first day, I wanted to make sure that I was there on time and was there extremely early. But I made the mistake of parking in Miss Ruby's spot.
Oh,
And there's an unwritten rule amongst all the bus drivers that is Miss Ruby's spot. I learned very quickly that day that is not where I'm supposed to park. But it was that day that connected Miss Ruby and I together. And I'm so grateful for that, even though she was like the Tasmanian devil. But that's my gratitude is for knowing Miss Ruby and having her as a friend in my life. Reverend Mary.
It's interesting knowing Miss Ruby. See, there's two versions of her. She told me this morning, "Well, I met you back there." See, she's sophisticated this morning. She came strolling in here in that big hat, like we used to wear to church on Sunday. And there's an art to putting that hat on.
Yes.
You know, you just don't flop it up there, you gotta angle it. Just right, you know? So it's a pleasure also seeing the sophisticated Miss Ruby. But you keep on keeping him in line. And my testimony this morning is, I grew up with an old church song called "God Will Take Care of You." I'm learning it. To have people show up at your door with food, something that would take so basically, and it's cooked already. You know? And I had to teach somebody the other day about those were the two of the most delicious T-bone pork chops I have had. Did you know that means? Yeah. But I'm talking about just the pork chops. I never realized that pork chops were T-bones. Oh, yes. And the bones are so good. Just like all you know. I thank all of you for your care, for your love, for your support. I better sit down now.
I am grateful for the concern of my neighbors, the concern of my friends, bringing to church now, because I am no longer driving myself, don't have a car. So, and I am grateful for being able to walk kind of without the cane. And I actually walked down the stairs this morning, 1 foot after the next.
all right.
Not one, and then the same one, and then the same one. Walked out. Yeah.
Awesome. That's
So
good.
it's, progress is being made.
Beautiful, wonderful. Anyone else? If not, then Annie is going to come to.
Yeah, I'm sorry. We're about to lose our IT assistant here because he's graduating from high school. And I'm so grateful for what he has done for us. We're operating the soundboards and stuff. And I'm also grateful that we got a refill. All right.
Yes, and we're going to, see that was coming, next week. We got something planned for them, but this is out, Jacob, on behalf of all of us. And really, on behalf of the balcony, for our YouTube audience and our Facebook audience, you have done such a great service for them. I appreciate the work that you've done to help get the message of Unity Church of Christ online and to the public. And from the bottom of my heart, thank you. Annie, if you will come and give the announcements and the lady word.
Hi, everybody. Hello.
Good morning.
May, June daily words are in the back on that table. I think there's a few left, and they're still available. Reverend DG is planning the next new member class. So if you're interested, this should take place sometime this summer. But pay attention to the weekly announcements as well as the weekly newsletter for more details. And let us know if you would like more information about membership. Our weekly prayer and meditation is now on Tuesdays at noon, and Tuesdays and Thursdays at 7 p.m. Our church building is open for an open NA meeting. And they come twice a week, and they're a good group of people. Thursdays at 11 a.m. is our class talks on truth. It's continuing, but only 2 more classes, so then we'll have a 2-week break before we start our next class. More information will be available next week about that. And we also have a virtual class that is continuing, 12 Steps to Your Healing by the Reverend Dr. Sheila McKeithen. And that class is really awesome too, and it's all virtual. And it's offered on Wednesday evenings at 5 p.m. Eastern Time via Zoom. There's still room for anyone that would like to attend that class. The registration fee for the class is $40, and it's for all 8 weeks. And you would get recordings of the previous classes if you join now. There's still registration forms at the back of the table, and you can arrange payment with me after service. Your book can be purchased online. Is there anything else that we need to talk about? Potluck next week, right?
Yes.
Potluck next week. And then Reverend DG will prepare us for meditation after daily work. Sunday, May 21st. As I practice the presence of God, I feel secure. There is only one power and one presence in the universe and in my life. God, omnipotence, omniscience, and omnipresence is not only all around me, God is within me. As I take the truth into my heart, I feel calm and secure. The circumstances of the world have no lasting power over me. God is greater and more enduring than anything I may be called to face. I have within me the power to feel God's presence, protecting presence at any time. As I pray, I affirm the strength and power of God are mine to call upon. I can use these divine powers to move beyond that which may scare me or intimidate me. In renewed faith and deep security, I move bravely forward. Yeah. From 1 John 4:4, the one who is in you is greater than the one who is in the world.
Yeah, buddy. Good. So it is.
And now, prepare this meditation.
If you have prayer requests, please bring them forward at this time. This is our opportunity to bring our loved ones, excuse me, people that we care about into this powerful healing consciousness, into this powerful abundant consciousness, to bring those into this loving consciousness. And we move into meditation by singing together.
Which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. Amen.
Becoming still, recognizing the presence and power of God right where you are. Take a moment to relax into the oneness that is God. By concentrating on your breath, recognizing, breathing in and relaxing. Placing yourself in a complete state of relaxation. This is your opportunity to turn away from anything that has gone on, that has caused any type of confusion, that has caused any type of disorder, that has caused any type of disturbance. This is your opportunity to breathe into and relax into the true presence of God right where you are. Knowing that there is only one power. There is only one presence in my life, God the good, omnipotent. That's all there is. There is only God. It is in this meditation time that we accept and rest in that reality. There is only God. Well, what about what's going on? There is only God. But I got this down. There is only God. And as we stand firm in that truth, anything else just falls away. As we stand in that truth, that becomes our reality. That becomes our manifestation. That truth becomes what we live. The presence and power of God is now made manifest in my life, in my world, and in my affairs. There is only God. I now accept that truth. I now embrace that truth. And it is with gratitude that I express that in my life. I express that in my words. I express that in my thoughts. I express that in my feelings. I express that in my actions and my reactions. And I thank you, Lord, for this awareness. I thank you, God, for that realization that I and the Father are one. Greater is He that is within me than anything that I could ever face. Greater is He that is within me than anything that somebody could tell me. Greater is He that is within me than any situation or condition that I may find myself in. It is in that greatness that I choose to live. It is in that greatness that I am the child of God, that God created me to be. We can now begin to close this time of prayer. But we can never close the time that we commune with God, because that is something that we do on a constant basis. But we seal this time in the name and through the power that is in the name of our master teacher and our elder brother, Jesus the Christ. Amen and amen.
Okay, please join me in our thoughts and prayers. Our thoughts are prayers, and we are always praying. Our thoughts are prayers, take charge of what you're saying. Seek a higher consciousness, a state of peacefulness. I know that God is always in, and every thought becomes a prayer.
This dream series is more powerful than you know or you are aware of. There is so much that goes into this group of lessons. And the purpose for this dream series, the purpose for this group of lessons is, I want to put it this way, productivity. When there is something you want to produce, when there is something you want to manifest, there is a blueprint, there is a map that is good to follow in order to make that happen. There is a dream, there is something deep inside of us that is wanting, that is longing, that is desiring to unfold, that wants to, needs to express, press out, express. There is something that needs to express or be pressed out of you. There is that dream. I don't know what that dream is for you. It may be a book that you're ready to write. It may be a job that you are wanting to do or accomplish. It might be something as simple as a car or transportation, but whatever it is that is on you and you alone to bring forth, this set of lessons gives you the outline and the blueprint on how to do that. You see, there is something professionally, there is a dream that I have for myself professionally, and it's there, and it's burning. There are some things that I want to accomplish personally that's burning. That desire is there. That's what we talked about last week. Step one to having any dream come true is that desire. There is a reason we have to go through all of this. I'm not just up here on Sunday just to talk. You see, there is something that I'm working on. I want you all to have your own notebook for this particular series. See, I don't know how you capture information. I don't know how you capture material. I try to give you ideas and suggestions as to how to capture things, but how it's best for you to keep it and maintain it. I'm giving you all the tools to make your dream come true. There is the second step, the second aspect, the second component into making your dreams come true, and that's decision. And that's what we're going to be discussing today. The scripture that is very paramount in this lesson series is where there is no vision, the people perish. Which means you have to be looking towards something. So what is it that you are looking towards? What is your vision? What is your dream? What was it last week that we talked about that was your desire? Now it's time to move into step 2, and that's making the decision. I submit to you that everything you do on a daily basis requires some type of decision. Everything. We don't think about it as being a major decision because it's sometimes so small and so minor and so minute. But there is a decision, Carmen, when it comes to walking up the stairs. And see, sometimes we don't even think about it. The decision is, do I start with my right foot or my left?
That is a biggie.
But it's a decision that you made. There is a decision that I go through every morning, especially every Sunday morning, what tie I'm going to wear. There are decisions that we make on a regular basis. But for this particular series, I want you to understand this, that in order for your dream to come true, there are some decisions that must be made. One of the decisions that has to be made is what is the vision that you are going to keep? You see, I'm giving you enough information for you to take home and work with, but I want you to work on 2 things. Your own personal vision and a collective vision. Last year, I think it was, Gina, and I'm so glad that you're here because I've been working with something that you had asked about. And you had said, what I want to do, we've got to get this together. And one of your statements was, I hope I win the lottery so we can do this.
You know that's kind of behind.
I want you to know we don't have to win the lottery to have our dream come true.
Man.
The vision that I want you all to keep in front of you as we go through this series is our floor. Floor.
All right, explain that.
It is great that we have had this carpet. It has served us well. I am grateful for it. I am grateful for the appearance of our walls. It's time for some new flooring in the building. It's time for our building, and I'm very grateful to her ladyship for helping us to decorate, paint, make everything look better. Our lobby entrance is where I'm focusing this vision. To be able to have new floor in the lobby. to get that carpet up and put something else down. To be able to make our building attractive when people come in. Not Miss Ruby, but everybody else.
Praise the Lord.
I want this vision. I'm holding this vision of that with Gina, because we've been doing this for about a year now, holding the vision of new floor. That's our dream. That's what we're working on. I want us to work on that collectively for here, but also I'm giving you the tools and the material to work on your own individual dream. I'm giving you information so that you learn what is the universe's intention that seeks to live through you. There is something that Mark Twain said it this way: there are two important days in your life. Number one, the day you were born, and number two, the day you find out why. That's what this dream series is all about. In order to live your dream, there are some decisions that have to be made. And making the decision to live your dream comes with its own set of rules. Rule number one is declaration. That you have to decide what your dream is. You get to decide to live your dream. Now, making this declaration does nothing for God. Okay, I want to make that clear. Making this declaration does something for you. I'm going to come back around to that later on and tell you why it does something for you. The next rule that comes with decision making is determination. Making a decision requires you to get serious. That you are going to do this regardless. There are several phrases. Number one, come hell or high water. The other one is damn the torpedoes, full speed ahead. This is what happens when you make a decision. The last part of the decision-making process rule is deliberate. Which means once you are making that decision that this is my dream and I'm going to live this dream, steps must be taken in that direction. If the dream that you have is to have a car, there are some things that must be deliberately done in order to have that dream come true. If you want your dream is to have a car, you must be deliberate and take the action to get the car, which means have a driver's license. Which means go to the car lot. Which means test drive a vehicle. You see, these are things. Deliberate actions must be taken in that direction. But you see, there's several reasons I think that some people hesitate to make a decision. If we don't make decisions or we hesitate, number one, because we're not sure of the outcome. I don't know what's going to happen if I do this, or if I decide to do A, then how is that going to look? How is that going to show up? Excuse me, it basically means you don't have enough information. That's why some people don't make decisions. Another reason that some people hesitate in making the decision is they don't trust themselves. Not wanting to take responsibility. Not wanting to take responsibility gives another reason that some people hesitate. It's because it's easier to place blame if you don't make a decision. Let me show you how that shows up. Let's see. We're going to go to the movie. Okay, that's choice. We're going to go to the movie. And it's a group of us that are getting together to go to the movie. Well, what movie would you like to see? Oh, I don't know. You decide. You see, it's easier to place blame when you don't make a decision on what movie you want to see, because when you get there and the movie ain't no good, you can say, well, I really didn't want to see that movie anyway. You put the blame on somebody else because you did not stand. Oh, another good one. Where should we go eat? Oh, it don't matter, you decide. But then when other folks decide we're going to go to Burger King, don't stand up and say, well, I don't like Burger King. You should have said something. Take responsibility. Make a decision and say what it is you want. That's what the declaration point is all about. Another reason you don't make a decision is because you don't trust God. Because when you trust God, it's easy to step out on faith and say, yes, I'm going to do this. But here is the biggest reason I think some people hesitate and don't make decisions is because they find themselves in what I'm going to use today as the Esther position. Is that sometimes making a decision puts you betwixt a rock and a hard place. And that's what happened with Esther. And I'm going to try and get this story all out today. So I may have to skip some of the details, but there are some things that are really interesting about the story of Esther in the Bible. In preparing for this message and reading that book over and over and over again, there was one thing that was very interesting about this book of the Bible. The Bible, about the book of Esther in the Bible, is that it does not mention God one time. Now, how can a book in the Bible not mention God one time? I'm submitting to you this explanation. The author of the book of Esther is anonymous, but there is a way that you can recognize God's movement in any and everything that goes on, any and every situation you find yourself in, that even though it does not appear or look like God is involved in the situation, God is always deeply involved in it, whether you recognize it or not. Now, there are some key characters, some key players in this book of Esther. First of all, you have King Xerxes. Okay, King Xerxes, not one of the more prominent kings, but there was some Xerxes, Xerxes, I believe, is how it's spelled. Okay. 2 points for me. Thank you. King Xerxes. King Xerxes, I guess I never really paid attention to his name or the spelling of it because he was a drunk. Yeah. You're going to find out that this king drank a lot. And not only did he drink a lot, but that got him in a lot of trouble. Not really him in a lot of trouble, but there's a whole lot about his partying that's going to come out in the story. The next character, the next key player, of course, is Esther. Then we have the uncle. Oh, I just forgot his name. Miss Ruby, help me out. What was Esther's uncle's name?
Mordecai.
Mordecai, thank you, Mordecai. Okay, it wasn't the uncle. Well, yes, it was. Mordecai. Mordecai was Esther's cousin, but he was much older. So some places in the book it mentions him or refers to him as an uncle, but it was a cousin, so it was kind of like that double thing. So it was Mordecai. Then every story got to have a villain. Then comes Haman. The story's villain. We find the king Xerxes having a party unlike any college fraternity could ever have. This party that he had lasted 187 days. That no fraternity has ever been able to do or match. And it was at the end of that party that our story really takes shape and takes place. Xerxes was doing or had this party just to show off his personal wealth, he was the big man on campus. He had everything. Everybody come, look at me, look at my stuff, look at my castle, look at my gold, look at my this. That was what the whole party was all about. Look at my this. You see, like I said, you can find God in everything. Well, how many times do you know people that say, oh, look at my this, look at my that, pay attention to me? That is a Xerxes mentality. As drunk as he was, he did this on the last day of the party. He demanded, all the women in here is going to fall out in there when I say this. He demanded his wife show up just to show off her beauty. All the women that are looking at me like, oh, no, not me. I wouldn't have did it. And that's exactly what Vashti, his wife, did. When he demanded that she show up just to show off her beauty, she said, oh no, you got the wrong one. And didn't come to the party, didn't show up. Now, not only did that make the king mad, but it made him look bad in front of all of the nobles, in front of all of the other men. So in order to save face, he made a decree in his drunken self that every man must be the ruler of their household. They made a decree and let everybody know this is the rule set out by the king. And anytime you disobey the king's rule, that means forcing people into submission. When Vashti did not show up, he had to make an example out of her, and it says that he put her away, put his queen away because she didn't do what the king thought she should do. And at this point, there was time for a new queen. Since Vashti was no longer the queen. Also, when you look at this book of Esther, you're going to find, like I said earlier, a lot of decisions. You'll be able to see where the king made some decisions. You're going to see where Vashti made some decisions. You're going to see where Mordecai made some decisions, which says for you, look at your life and see where you are making decisions. Because sometimes you find yourself in the Esther role or the Esther position. So, Vashti's put away, he has to have a new queen. So what he does is have a beauty contest. Because he wants to have the prettiest wife there is. And every woman that was brought into the possibility of being a contestant had to go through a year process of being beautified. a certain oils that she had to be washed in and bathed in and anointed in for 6 months. Then another 6 months where she did nothing but be bathed in colognes and perfumes and all of this. So here it is time for all of the contestants to come before the king. And Esther caught his eye. He then made Esther his queen. But this was the other thing. Esther was Jewish. And Haman had a problem with Jewish people. Haman, that's the villain in the story. Haman was, who was it? Oh, he was like the king's right hand. He was like the, not the vice king, but he was like the king's minister, so to speak. So he was the king's right hand, and Haman had a problem with the Jewish people. Esther was Jewish. Also, her cousin, uncle, Mordecai was Jewish. Once Esther became queen, Mordecai just so happened to overhear a conversation with two of the king's guards that were planning to, anytime you in leadership like that, how somebody always got something out against you. So these two guards were planning an assassination attempt on the king. Mordecai just happened to overhear the plans for this, went back, told Esther. Esther then told the king, and the king was grateful, saying, oh, wait a minute, somebody was going to kill me. So who was it that got the information to me? Mordecai, thank you. You saved my life. Haman wasn't too good with that. Haman being elevated to the highest position just under the king had made it decreed with the king when he was drunk again that every Jewish person is supposed to bow down to Haman. Haman saw Mordecai one day not bowing down to him. And of course, that pissed him off. He was not happy with the fact that even though this decree was made by the king, that this Jewish guy was not going to follow the rules. So in order to get back at Haman, what he did was said, okay, I'm not just going to get you, I'm going to get your whole family. This is what the decree is going to be. After another time, King Xerxes was drunk. Haman got the king to do another decree that said, what we're going to do is we're going to kill all the Jews. We're not just going to get this one. I'm going to get all of them. Going to wipe them all out. Here is where the Esther decision or the Esther position takes place. The king has said, because of this guy Haman having it out with Mordecai, I'm going to kill all of the Jews. That meant Esther and Mordecai. Here is where making a decision puts you sometimes betwixt a rock and a hard place. If Esther says something, she's in trouble. Because see, she'd be caught for lying because she went into this whole thing hiding that she was Jewish. So she's going to be exposing herself. If I go to the king and say, don't do this, if she doesn't go to the king and do this, here she is now in a position of leadership. Her subjects, her fellow Jewish people are going to say, girl, you sold us out. You gonna keep your mouth shut just to save your own neck, your own skin, and let all the rest of us down? How could you do that to us? So she's like, how do I make this decision? If I say something, I'm in trouble. If I don't say something, I'm in trouble. This is why a lot of people don't make the decisions that they should. They find themselves in that position. She was also faced with another decision. If I do say something, I'm going before the king unannounced or uninvited. And to go before the king without being summoned, right then, and that in itself meant certain death. You don't go before the king uninvited. So now how do I get the king's attention? She had to make some decisions. This is where her and Mordecai had a very, very important conversation. Mordecai told Esther. Now this, I didn't need you to take a whole lot of notes, but here's where I want you to write something down. However it needs to be worded to be. Mordecai said to Esther, our people will be liberated by you or somebody, but our people will be delivered. Perhaps, here we go, perhaps you were elevated to queen for that very purpose. Maybe you became queen just for this particular time. This is where we make our decision, or how we make it. To know or to get in your mind that this, perhaps, is your time. You are brought on this earth. You are here in this sanctuary today. You are watching us. You are listening to this service because today may just be your possible time. Are you willing to accept the possibility? Now, there's a few things that when you come to a decision that it will do for you or it will do to you. Number one, it causes you to focus. Making a decision brings your attention to a point. This makes you specific. It gets you specific. The vision is for the floor and the walls in our lobby. That's a focus. Okay. During this dream series, that's going to be our vision, and we will have all of that done within the next 8 weeks. I promise you that. Yes, Gina. It's going to come in sections. We won't have the, well, I'm not going to say we won't, but the main sanctuary may come later. But the lobby out there and the painting will be done within the next 8 weeks. You see, that's what a decision does. It brings you to a focal point. There's another thing that making a decision does, is it brings your team to you. As soon as you get definite with the universe will get definite with you. Excuse me. It's like a race. On your mark, get set. See, the universe is in that position. Get set, waiting for you to say go. And the minute you make a decision, that's you saying go. Universe says, okay, now that you've decided, you got definite, you have got significant amount, now here everything is. That's what happened with Esther. When she made the decision that she was going to even go before the king, her words were, I'm going to go before the king, and if I perish, I perish. Don't take my word for it. Look it up and find out for yourself. That's what Esther said. I believe it was in like the 3rd or the 4th chapter of that book. And it's not a long book. It's like 8 chapters in it. She said, if I perish, but I'm going to do it anyway. That was the determination. Another thing, once you make a decision, you become transformed in consciousness. When you make the decision. The decision is not for God. The declaration is not for God. The declaration is about what it will do for you. Once you make that declaration, your consciousness is transformed. You begin to think differently. You begin to think in lines of your vision, your goal. You begin to think in lines of your dream. The last thing that happens to you when you make the decision is that's when you experience an awakening. When you make a decision one way or the other about your dream, that's when you can sing. I can see clearly now, the rain is gone. You begin to see things clearer because once you have focused in on your dream, you focused in on what the universe wants to express through you, that's when you kind of have tunnel vision. And you begin to see everything clear about that goal. When you make a decision. But the question is, and Ryan is going to tell you better than me, what are you deciding? You have to make your own decision. Nobody can do it.
I have decided to follow Jesus. I have decided to follow Jesus. I have decided to follow Jesus. No turning back, no turning back. Though none go with me, still I will follow. Though none go with me, still I will follow. Though none go with me, still I will follow. No turning back, no turning back. The world behind me, my God before me. The world behind me, my God before me. The world behind me, my God before me. No turning back, no turning back. So I have decided to follow Jesus. I have decided to follow Jesus. I have decided to follow Jesus. No turning back, 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 no turning back.
All I can say is like my father, the voice.
Yeah.
The voice. You made that decision. At this point, it's no turning back. That's what this is all about, once you've made that decision. Would you please join me right now as we prepare to bless our love offering, our tithes, our supporting gifts. However you have come prepared to give, or however you have been directed to give, we ask that you take your love offering in your hand and declare our love offering blessing together. Divine love through me blesses and increases all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Thank you, God. We will have a brief break after service because our board meeting is today. Am I right, Madam President? Okay, board meeting after today, so 12:30, we will have our board meeting. That's all the announcement of things that we need to say, and this is not going to be a long board meeting, is it?
No, it's not.
Okay, we make that decision.
Yes.
Okay. All right then, if you would please let us stand, keeping in mind where our cameras are, so we can include them, excuse me, in our circle.
I'd like to zoom out
There
and let
is a
the
basket.
entire show the entire circle circled up.
Okay.
We will have the basket at the back for the love offering. So if you would please stand and join us as we sing together the peace song.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. With God as creator, family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me, And together our prayer for protection. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. All right, Falcon, Facebook, YouTube.
can end the YouTube right here,
Okay, all right.
right on the bottom.